Welcome back to the Brad and Rach vlog. It is nap time right now, so we've already had an entire morning of fun. And everybody's napping, which I'm shocked that Lyndle is napping because she was in bed, not sleeping necessarily, but maybe dozing off and on until almost 10 o'clock. And only then did she get up because I made her, because we all wanted to go outside and play. And I'm like, Lyndle, you are not a 16-year-old that sleeps until 10 o'clock. It was just crazy. But she must have been really tired. I honestly think that she needs more sleep than Bear does. And now that they're sharing a room, for the past couple of months, she has sort of suffered a little bit in the sleep department because she's conforming more to Bear's sleep schedule. He gets up, and so she gets up. If he skips a nap, she skips a nap. If he stays up later and plays and all that, then she does too. And so I think just slowly over the last several months or weeks, she's been lacking sleep. And so she might be making up for it now. I don't know. Purely speculating. Or she's growing. That's always something to consider too. Like when they eat more and they sleep more, it's like they're growing more. Makes sense in my head anyway. What I've done this nap time is I met with my therapist, and more recently I've been outspoken about mental health, and so I just wanted to like update on that. I've adjusted my medications. I was on Zoloft, and now I'm taking a combination of a very low dose of Zoloft with a low dose of Cymbalta, and with the idea that Zoloft wasn't really, I don't feel like it was working too well for me, and Cymbalta is one that they don't typically prescribe you if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. But my therapist said that the reasons in the past that they have been not prescribing certain classes of medication to pregnant women is sort of old school. And a lot of OBs, just to err on the side of caution, just stick with only Zoloft. And she said she doesn't think that that's necessarily the right move, especially for some women that have been previously on something different and then they get pregnant or are breastfeeding and they're taken off of whatever has been working for them and just put on a low dose of Zoloft. She feels like the risks of doing that are too great, I guess, for the mother. And so anyway, I like her take on things, and I really like her as a person and talking to her and all that. So I trust her opinion. So anyway, that is where we're at with like my medication. Sorry, I'm messing with my hair. I know that drives some people crazy. So I met with her and everything's good there. I feel a lot better, more stable, and just like happier now with the combination of meds that I have. And it's hard to say because we changed a few things. She also recommended taking L-theanine, which is something that's found in, is L-theanine what's found in green tea? I think so. But it just kind of promotes calm and, yeah, promotes relaxation, restores a sense of calm. And so this is what she said to take, L-theanine. It's also found in green tea naturally, and it's just a dietary supplement. So obviously I'm not telling you to take this, but maybe if you aren't taking this and you feel anxious or anxiety or something, maybe you can talk with your doctor and see if this is something that they agree might help you, because it's definitely a more natural way of feeling that calm. And it's something that you can take in the moment when you feel anxious as well. So that she's having me take twice a day, and then NAC. So this is N-acetylcysteine, and kind of the same thing. This says maintain cellular health. So and protects free radicals, free radical protection. So you take both of these twice a day. I have mostly been taking them just once a day because I forget to take them twice a day. So I've been doing that. I've been taking my new Cymbalta prescription, and eventually may wean off of the Zoloft. We'll see. Gosh, we've had so many people walking on our street today. It's so pretty out. And then what else I'm going to be doing during nap time is filling out a huge packet of paperwork. And I think I'm gonna wait until Brad gets home. I feel flushed. I'm gonna wait until Brad gets home to kind of talk through why I'm filling out this giant packet of paperwork, because it's sort of a big decision that we made together recently, And we'll just talk about it a little bit later.
We actually, we're going to do a reenactment of what we did this afternoon later in the vlog, so we'll just keep it at that.
Later in this vlog?
No, not
later
this vlog.
in...
Later in the life. Later in the vlog sphere.
Is that a real word?
It is now. What are you doing over there? Rapping?
I'm almost done pumping. I'm not going to have to do this much longer.
Oh, I thought you meant this session.
No.
Like,
I think I'll pump for like one more week. And in this next week, I'll probably reduce it to like 1 session a day. Or just do, if you guys are curious, just do like a minute or 2 in the morning and then a session at night for a little bit. Just about done. It's crazy.
it is crazy.
It's hard to believe.
And
I'm about to enter into the first phase in 4 years that I haven't been pregnant or breastfeeding.
And it's not going to last too awful long.
I wonder how long it'll last. We don't know for sure. I thought you were panning down to show my pumping situation. Yes, this is our paperwork. It's really, this page in particular is really funny.
So,
I posted about it in our stories on Instagram because one of the questions is, how often do you have sexual intercourse per week? Explain/describe with a long line. A long
that is
empty
so
line.
weird.
Explain or describe what?
Explain yourselves.
So I posted on Instagram and I said, what would you put here? And some of the responses are hilarious. Someone said to describe your typical session in detail and make them really uncomfortable.
It's a fertility clinic. I'm sure they've heard it all and they don't get uncomfortable.
I'm sure they don't. But then I was telling my mom that too, and she goes, see attached. And I said, see attached DVD.
Oh,
so
you talked
funny.
about that with your mother, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yes, we talk about everything. Except for that.
I was gonna say. What?
So yeah, we're filling out paperwork because we've officially made the decision that we're transferring our embryos closer.
It just kind of makes sense, especially with how many doctor visits. I mean, what would end up happening anyway was you would be seeing these people. They would be doing the tests on you.
Exactly.
And then sending that information out to Charleston.
Right.
And Dr. Slowey would be interpreting it. So it just makes sense to just transfer them here.
Another thing I was thinking about is that before the transfer, there's going to be a lot of progesterone injections.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would fly to Charleston and you have to do one the night before in the morning of the transfer.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to travel with like vials and needles and just...
You mean like a diabetic?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible and people do it, but it's just one more thing to kind of worry and stress about. And we eliminate that. We're closer to home. We eliminate flights being canceled right before our transfer after doing the horrible progesterone injections.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't specifically asked this clinic, but I am curious and interested in doing maybe a non-medicated cycle or a lower medication cycle. I haven't really looked into it yet much, but maybe, I know our clinic back in South Carolina doesn't do that, so maybe this clinic will.
Well, and I wonder if they'll allow us to transfer too.
Right. Oh yeah,
That's another good question.
if we decide we want to do 1 or 2.
Right.
I know Dr. Slowey, our reproductive endocrinologist in South Carolina, was really on the fence about, like, he didn't want to transfer 2.
Yeah, he didn't want us to do twins the first time.
Right, but the only reason he even let us transfer 2 embryos is because he thought there was a low chance they would both take. So, yeah, it's all things to consider, but I think I'm going to feel more comfortable having our embryos closer to home.
All right.
Do you feel that way? Or do you not really?
It just, for me in my head, it makes more sense to transfer them here rather than us go out there. Just so you'll have all the same doctors and staff for every test and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they'll fly them. They probably would.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's like any chance that they wouldn't survive the transfer. like the transfer from clinic to clinic,
Right, the shipping.
the shipping.
I'm sure it's super cheap to ship them, so there's probably a high risk.
Oh,
Nothing in IVF is cheap. I wonder how much the shipping's
oh gosh, I don't know.
Overnighting 2 embryos. We'll let you know, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to know how much it costs to overnight embryos
Well-
from Charleston to Columbia, Missouri.
To overnight samples was only $150.
That's true. That's a good point.
Thank you. It can't be much different, but they're
Only
not.
$150.
Right. They're, I don't know what the technical term for how they're frozen is, but Brad was like, well, they would just put them on dry ice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not. They're not just refrigerated. Like dry ice would hold a freezer, I guess, temperature. Wouldn't it? Yeah. Dry ice does hold a freezer temperature, and I know that. Actually lower than a freezer temperature.
Definitely lower than a freezer.
I know that because I bought some dry ice because for Father's Day, I wanted to ship my dad. I make, in his opinion, his favorite chocolate chip cookies. And for Father's Day,
There's no way it's just because that you're the daughter.
it's definitely because I'm just his daughter. So for Father's Day, we lived in South Carolina and they were still in Missouri, and I wanted to make a big batch. And then I looked into so many different ways of shipping that cookie dough.
It was going to be like $200 or something.
Yeah. And so I ended up buying some dry ice and I put it in the freezer because I was going to like take them. I was going to take them to the post office after work. I had to like get the packaging and stuff too. And I came home from work and the dry ice had all been used up and it had shut our freezer off. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoops. So that fell through. And I even called FedEx or UPS or one of them. They have like
I think it's FedEx.
they have a white glove service where it's in a refrigerated van or something. And so I called to see what that would cost. And they were like, what are you shipping? And I said, cookie dough. And they said, oh, okay. How many crates or something? I was like, oh, it's just going to be like a Tupperware. And they were like, oh, this isn't what you want. It was the white glove service, and it would have been one Tupperware of cookie dough sitting in an entire van. Being driven from South Carolina straight to Missouri to
Only
prepare.
the best for you, Dennis.
That would have been so stupid. They were probably like, this idiot.
Yeah.
You got to hear what phone call I just took.
Yeah. Was it a man or a woman?
I don't even remember.
Whoever it was, they went home that night and told their spouse, listen to this idiot. You were that idiot.
It was me. It was me. Oh, it was stupid. I wish I could say that's the only stupid thing I've done in my life.
Yeah. We never, like, come home from work and say, like, this idiot at work did this today.
No.
No, we don't.